Good morning. Okay, so each year we do the 12 days of Christmas. We do these different every single year. If you head over to the link down in the description in the show notes, I do have a link that goes to the 12 days of Christmas to where you can see what we've done in the past, different themes, that kind of stuff. But this year we are doing the 12 days of Christmas movies. I am so excited about this, so I wanted to come on and tell you what we are doing, what movies we're watching, and how we're making that just like a super special day for each one of those movies. So as always, if you are somebody that watches my content pretty regularly, welcome back. I appreciate you tuning into everything and leaving comments and sharing these with friends and all the things that you do to help the small business grow. I very much appreciate it. If you're brand new, welcome. I am Tanya Johnson. I'm the founder of Helping Hearts Ministries, where I work one-on-one with homeschool parents, helping them put the fun and the joy back into homeschooling while keeping a biblical worldview. So let's jump right into the 12 Days of Christmas movies. I hope that you like some of these. I hope these will give you some ideas to do in your own homeschool. And I would love to hear if you have any movies that you watch every year, and if you have ideas how you can turn those into part of a 12 Days of Christmas movies, because we'll probably do this year after year after this, so I would love to add some new movies into our rotation. Now, as I mentioned in last week's video, we are doing these Winning Wednesday videos between now and the new year. So as I mentioned in last week's video, we are not doing 12 consecutive days leading up to Christmas this year because we have so many things planned. So if you look at the calendar right here, you can see that I have the numbers 1, 2, 3, all the way through 12 written out, but spaced out. So what I did is I put them on days that we're gonna be staying home and chilling in our own house anyways. So we're not trying to go out and do things, with the exception, I think 1 or 2 are planned. On nights we have other stuff to do because I couldn't fit 12 in otherwise, but they're like the movies that we're not doing near as much stuff for. So some of these movies, we are doing much bigger things throughout the day. And some are honestly, we're just doing a fun, low-key movie night with one of our favorites. So I'm gonna take you through all 12, show you how we are doing. And what I'll do, instead of just, I didn't wanna bring everything out here. I did order everything we're using. I've got boxes of stuff, but it's a lot harder to like bring it out and like say, hey, this is this, and here, can you see it? Sometimes the camera doesn't like focusing and refocusing like that. So instead, I'm just gonna put things up on the screen from the actual picture from the website, or I might take a picture here depending on what the item is. I think that would be easier than trying to like pick up and show everything. So the first movie that we're watching is The Star. This is one that I think we didn't watch until a couple of years ago, but we loved it. My daughter loves animals in general. It's a really, really cute movie. So what I'm gonna do for each of these, I'm gonna wrap up a Christmas present. So it'll be a box, it'll be an Amazon box, or maybe a gift bag depending on how many boxes I have. I don't know exactly what I'm doing with that. And it will be wrapped up with a picture of the movie, because we don't do, like, this would be really cool. And you might have access to this. If you were somebody that had a DVD player in your house, so maybe you have a game system that plays DVDs. We don't have a game system or anything, so we don't have a way to play DVDs. But if you did, and maybe you had all the old Christmas movies, this would be really cool to actually like put the movie in the box. They could open it and like, here's the DVD. I remember as a kid, we would do that with our Christmas Eve boxes. We would have a movie in there. That is something that I very much miss. Like, I feel like technology kind of brought to that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have pictures of the movie that you can put in there. So what I'll do over on the blog is I'll link that as a freebie. I will have all the pictures. So if you wanted to do any of these movies, or you wanted to do something similar, you can print those off and cut them out, and you don't have to like go find them. I didn't have that planned, but because I'm gonna do it, I will go ahead and just link it on the blog as well. So she's gonna open a box. It's gonna have the picture of whatever movie we're doing, like just a paper with a picture printed out, and then some items in the box. And I don't know yet if I'm gonna like type out and let her know what we're doing, or I will just like tell her what we're doing as she opens the box. I haven't thought that far ahead. But box number 1 is gonna be The Star. The reason being is because something that we just started doing last year is Elf on the Shelf. Now, here's the part I'm gonna tell you. If you have little ears watching, or little ears listening to this rather, go ahead and pause or put earbuds in or something. I don't want to ruin the magic of anybody's Christmas. So I'm gonna pause for just a couple of seconds, give you time to shut this off, or, you know, whatever you need to do. So we have never done the Santa thing. Like, my daughter has always known Santa's not real. Santa is like a fun thing we do. We still take pictures. We still do like milk and cookies, but she knows she's leaving him for her dad. So we still do all the magic, like the funness of it, but we just never taught her that he's like a real person in the North Pole. So the elf, we never did because it was always something that was attached to Santa being real, and the elf was kind of like watching you to make sure that you behaved and all that stuff. Well, as she got older, she started realizing that her friends were doing the elf. And she asked me one year why we didn't, and I explained to her. And she understood it because, you know, her friends were thinking that this elf was moving around at night and he was real and he was watching them, and that's it. You know, she doesn't believe any of that. So, but last year she had this idea. She said, what if we get an elf, Mom, and we do Elf on the Shelf, but we take turns moving it? So I started thinking, I was like, that could actually be a good way for her to practice creativity and imagination and all that stuff as well. It also helped me introduce her to the internet, and I've sent her some links on how to open up and look at some Elf on the Shelf ideas without like being full-fledged on the internet. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically just learning how to use a computer and navigate like safely some online things. So last year was the first year we did it. If I have pictures, I'll pop some up here. It was so fun. Like, she had some very, very creative ideas. And it eliminated the stress of, I've seen so many moms like hate Elf on the Shelf because it's so much work. And if you miss a night, then your kids are sad because they think like Santa's elf is losing its magic, or it's not, you know, going back to the North Pole or whatever. So I told her, I said, we'll do it, but I'm not promising you it's going to move every single night. There might be nights that we just have a lot going on, and hey, it's not moving tonight, we'll do it tomorrow, because we know it's just a fun thing we're using for like some creativity purpose, not because it's like moving itself around the house. So having said all of that, that's important, because what I'm doing for bringing the Elf on the Shelf this year is he is going to hide 100 stars or 75 stars, I don't remember, whatever the little box comes, around our house. And that is going to be the first box that she opens is the movie The Star. So The Star, obviously the theme would be the stars. And the elf is also going to be in that box. That's going to be his like, surprise, I'm back. Ready to, you know, have some fun. And there's going to be a note saying, I've hidden 75 stars around your house. Your challenge is to find them all before Christmas Day. So some of these are going to be hidden hard. Like, they're not, this isn't a open the box and go find 100 stars, although she will go look and she will probably find several of them. But it's going to be when you least expect it, you're going to open a cabinet, or you're going to open your favorite snack or whatever and be like, oh, Mom, look, I found a star. There was a star in whatever there was in. So I'm excited. I think she's going to like that. She loves scavenger hunt type things. And again, we don't have any little kids. We don't have any pets. So there's no fear of anybody like finding these and accidentally eating them either. So again, know your family, know your circumstances. That might not be feasible for everybody. This is feasible for us, and I think she's going to love it. So first movie box is going to be The Star, and we are going to hide a bunch of stars around and introduce our elf back into the family for Christmas. The second movie is Buddy the Elf. This is one of my favorite movies, and it has become one of her favorite movies. One reason I want to watch it early on is so we have the whole rest of the month to watch it a few more times, because we usually watch it several times each season. And for Buddy the Elf, we have a game that I found that we're going to play. So that's going to be in the box with the little picture of the movie as well. And then there's a book in there as well that we can read along with the movie. And the book I am getting from the library. So it's one that I am getting for free, putting it in the box, going to read it, and then return it after Christmas. Now, there are several games that go with Buddy the Elf. We are getting one called Card Scramble. I wanted one that we could play with 2 players. There are a couple others as well. This one to me looked like the most fun. There is one that's geared for littler kids as well that I will put up here on the screen. So there's a few different ones. And then we're also going to have spaghetti for dinner that night, just because that's a big part of the movie. So movie number 2 is Buddy the Elf. Movie number 3 is The Polar Express. Now, I know a lot of people save this one up till Christmas Eve. We are not doing that, and there's a reason why, and when we get to number 12, I'll tell you. But The Polar Express actually is not one of her favorite movies. It is one of mine. And something that we have talked about a lot in our house over the last few years is that not everything revolves around glory. Sometimes we do things because other members of the family like to do them. Now, this comes into play with our meal planning a lot because we all have 3 very different tastes in food. I grew up in New Mexico. I love all things Spanish. My husband grew up in Maine. He likes a lot of seafood. There's a lot of meals that he is like just very good American food that I am not a fan of. That's just not the culture I grew up in. And then my daughter likes a lot of like sloppy joes and chili and I don't know, there's a few that she definitely loves that the rest of us are like, that's not our favorite meal. But we don't always get our favorite meals. And that's something that, being part of a family, you learn to do things because other people like doing them, not because it's always your favorite thing to do. So with the Polar Express, we have a book to read. We're going to enjoy some hot chocolate. It's going to be one of those low-key ones, and on purpose because it's scheduled during a really busy, going into a really busy weekend. And then we're going to watch the movie cuddled up on the couch, and it won't be one of her favorites, but hopefully she'll enjoy the experience. And it's going to help her understand that anything, but even, coming up to something special like Christmas, it's not all about you. Yes, have fun, enjoy the season, but be considerate that other people like to do things that you might not. Other people have traditions that you may not have that are important to them. So it's give and take. It's learning how to enjoy being with the people versus just what you're doing or what you're getting. So number 3 is the Polar Express, which I am excited about regardless if she is or not. I love the music in it. I love just all of it. Number 4 is the Grinch. Again, a favorite in our house. We're going to watch the new Grinch, the cartoon-ish one. I think that's the one that she likes the most. But of course, she can watch whatever Grinch she wants, as well as which one really doesn't matter to me. We'll watch all of them before the season is over, I'm sure. So the Grinch is one that has a lot of different like activities, crafts, lots of things that you can put in with it. I'm trying not to do the same thing every night. So I didn't want a game every night. I didn't want a puzzle every night. I didn't want to craft every night. I'm trying to do something different pretty much for each movie. So for this one, there is a book that goes along with it. So we'll be reading the book, watching the movie. And then as we're watching the movie, I've got some really fun Christmas bracelets materials that we're going to put in the box. So we're going to make Christmas bracelets as we are watching the movie. So in the movie, the Grinch movie, they're always doing like little trinkets and things for each other. So I thought that would be a fun thing to do. And I'm purposely doing the movies that have games or like Christmas themed crafts in the beginning of the month. So we have plenty of time to play those games throughout the month before Christmas, before we put them away for next year. And with the bracelets, for example, she has plenty of time to make them for a lot of people before it's time to, not give people Christmas bracelets anymore. So number 4 is the Grinch, super classic, lots of things that you could put in the box. Bracelets is what we happen to be putting in there. Number 5 is Tim Allen, the Santa Claus. Now with the different like movies that have more than one in them, we are just watching the first one. She can watch the others on her own whenever she wants to. She has a lot of reign when it comes to TV time during December because I know she loves watching all the Christmas movies. But just for how busy we are for December and what we have planned, I don't want to spend all day watching 2 or 3 different movies each time there's a double or triple feature in there. So we're just going to be watching the first one. And I found the perfect game to go along with this one. It's called Santa's Sleigh Ride. And this focuses on helping Santa get through all the different parts of the world and get all the presents delivered. And there's a math concept in this one as well, so it is educational also. And again, it's given early in the month because I'm sure we will play it multiple times before the season is over. Now, I thought it was perfect for this one because Tim Allen, that's one of the first things that they talk about is how do they get to all the different parts of the world in the sleigh and time zones and all that stuff. And so I just thought that that was a really good game to go along with this specific movie. So number 5, Tim Allen, Santa Claus. Now number 6 is one that was new to me up until a few years ago. This is not like a classic. It is the Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And is all about a girl finding a puppy and falling in love with this puppy. And my daughter has loved dogs since she was little. We don't have one. I'm allergic to dogs. Her dad doesn't really like any kind of pets. We traveled a lot up until the last couple of years, so having a pet also just was not fair to the pet to be leaving all the time. So we've not ever had a pet. So because of that, she really loves puppies and cats and all that stuff. So she really loved this movie. I wanted to include this in the box for her. Now, I had to think outside of the box for this one because there's not really anything branded like the Mariah Carey, you know, All I Want for Christmas Is You, as far as the puppy dog movie goes. And I'm not introducing the song to her. That's not something that, you know, we promote. But what I'm doing is there's a book that goes right along with the movie. Like it literally is just a remake of the movie, or maybe the book came first. I'm not really sure. But I got it on Thrift Books for like $5. So we're putting that in there. Unfortunately, couldn't find it at the library, or I absolutely would have. And then I looked up some YouTube tutorials. I'm going to turn them into like a little QR code or something on how to paint Christmas puppies. So in this box are going to be a couple canvases that I am getting from the dollar store. She already has a ton of paint and things. I don't know if I'm going to put those in the box or keep them out because I don't know if she's going to be using them between the 1st of December and actually opening this. So I haven't decided what I'm doing with that yet. I might just do the canvases in the box. And we are going to, in the beginning part of the day, we're going to paint some Christmas puppies, and we'll probably eat some popcorn or something while we're doing that, or have Christmas music on. And then at the end of the day, we'll watch the movie. And if your kid likes puppy chow, this would be a perfect time to make some puppy chow as well. My daughter doesn't, so I'm not gonna make puppy chow. Otherwise, you know, it'd be so fun to have a little recipe card in there and make puppy chow together. If your kid doesn't like it, there's no point though. So that's gonna be movie number 6, the Mariah Carey All I Want for Christmas Is You. Now, number 7 is the only one that I am breaking my own rule for, and that is the Princess Switch. We're gonna watch 1, 2, and 3. The Princess Switch, again, not a classic. It's a newer to Netflix movie as of like within the last 5 years. It has Vanessa Hudgens in it, and it centers all around the magic of Christmas, but also baking. My daughter's huge into baking. She loves cooking things. She wants to be a baker when she grows up, so I think this would be just a really cute little box to put together. So I think in the box, I'm just going to print out a few recipes I know she's been wanting to make. Some will be Christmas themed, some will just be some fun, you know, baking things. And then put them in the box with the picture of the movie. And the reason that we are watching all 3 is we're gonna spend all day that day baking. So we're not really gonna do any other school. It's just gonna be a baking day. But I strategically planned that to be a couple of days before several of our Christmas parties are happening. So we're gonna bake all the stuff, but then we'll have places to put them. So we've got a homeschool Christmas party coming up. We have a homeschool class that I teach for middle school that will be having a party. Then I have a high school discipleship class that I teach that will also be having a party. So we'll have lots of, you know, ways that we can use these treats. And then also we'll send several to my husband's job with him, and he can pass them out at work. He's a supervisor. He's got like 16 or 20 guys under him. I don't know exactly. And they do 3rd shift work. So they're always wanting all the sweets. We've sent sweets to them a few times. So we will spend all day baking, and then we will wrap them up nice and make them pretty, just like they do in the Princess Switch. They have lots of like really pretty trays of things, and we will pass them out to people. Now, coming up on number 8, again, this is a little bit newer. It's called Noelle. If you've not seen it, it's a really, really cute movie. It has Anna Kendrick in it. Probably the big thing that she's really was popular for is Pitch Perfect. And so if you're a millennial mom like me, you probably know what that is because it came out right around like we were kind of at the end of our college years. I don't think my daughter has seen Pitch Perfect, but she knows Anna Kendrick from Noelle. Like anytime that she pops up on TV on a commercial or anything, Mom, that's the lady that plays the elf in the movie that I like. Yes, it is. So Noelle had to get, again, a little creative because there's not anything themed Noelle. And Noelle is just a funny elf movie. Like she's a real sweet, loving girl. But she loves to have fun. She loves the Christmas magic. She loves to do all things Christmas. So what I did is I ordered a rock painting set. We've done rock painting in the past. My daughter liked it a lot. This is Christmas themed rock painting. So we'll put it in the box. She'll open it up with her little picture of Noelle. So when we're watching the Noelle movie, we will be painting Christmas rocks. And then number 9, we have a lot like back to back that are not traditional Christmas movies because I know they're ones that my daughter likes. So if these aren't ones your family likes or knows of, sub some in there that are more traditional. But the next one is the Cinderella Story, The Christmas Wish. This one is really cute. It's very like a twist on the Cinderella thing where the girl lost her dad, lives with an evil stepmom and stepsisters and all the things, but it has a lot of music and dancing in it, which my daughter loves anything music and dancing. Now, the one element that stood out to me in this is the daughter whose dad died has a snow globe that she loves. And this snow globe gets broken by one of the sisters in kind of in a malicious way. So we are going to make our own snow globes. My daughter loves snow globes anyways. I found a really cool little way to make your own. I linked it over on the blog, so make sure that you, again, when this video is over, go grab the links from the blog, get all the freebies, links, all that stuff that's over there. So we're gonna make snow globes as we watch the movie. And then number 10 is a classic. We're gonna do Home Alone. That is one of her favorite Christmas movies. There is a book that goes along with Home Alone. However, none of our libraries have it. Even getting it used, it's like $32, and it is a little bit more on the kids side. So I'm not gonna spend $32 on it. You absolutely could. Again, no shame, especially if your kids are little. But my daughter's probably gonna outgrow that book in a few years. If I'm spending 30 some dollars on a book, my kid's gonna be like 2, and we're gonna get a good, decade plus out of this book. So we are not gonna read the book that goes with it, but there is a book. And again, I have it linked over there if you wanna check it out. But this one I planned because it is during one of the times that we have a really busy weekend coming up, because it's just how I could fit getting all 12 movies in. In the movie, when Kevin's home alone and he realizes that he's home and he thinks it's like might be a prank or something, he openly says, "Hey guys, I'm eating junk. I'm eating all the junk food." I don't remember exactly how he says it, but he's eating like macaroni and pizza and all the things. So my daughter loves boxed macaroni and cheese. We do not buy it because I know it is very bad. Like, it has a lot of bad ingredients. However, I make exceptions. Like, I guess I'm a scrunchy mom. We definitely try to do good with ingredients and that kind of stuff. But during holidays and special things, here's a cupcake. Here's Halloween candy that I know has red dye in it. Like, we kind of have that middle road going on. So I'm going to put a box of macaroni and cheese in that themed box because I think she'll love it. And then we're going to make pizza and we'll have Coke and we'll just have a literal junk food dinner. So very low prep for me. We're not doing a bunch of crafts or activities for this movie, and I've got to make dinner anyways, so I might as well make something easy because I think this one is planned on a night that we have to go do something else as well. So this will be like lunchtime, and then dinner will be at whatever it is that we're going to have dinner. So this is an easy one, but it's one I think my daughter will like just as well as the other ones because she's going to get that boxed macaroni and cheese that she gets usually like twice a year. Once around her birthday, and then once like on a random time in the summer is usually when we do it. So we'll just switch. We didn't do anything like that for her birthday this year, so she'll get it for Christmas instead. So 10 is Home Alone. Now 11 is one of my favorites, and that is Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas. I think she's only seen it once maybe, but she does like regular Beauty and the Beast. The reason I went with this one though is because she was recently introduced to the meme game. We do a lot of ministry work. I've got a lot of teenagers that come over. I've got a lot of families that come to our house. Routinely, we do lots of game nights. That's an easy way to have families over that they can open up and have conversations, and, it sparks into ministry type conversations. We had a family introduce the meme game. Now, we had to take several cards out because there were some things that were not appropriate for anybody, but especially for a 10-year-old. But she did really like it. Now, what she saw when we were at Barnes & Noble's is there is a Disney-themed meme game. And when I looked it up, it's much more family-friendly. I shouldn't have to take any cards out. So I am giving her the Disney meme game with the box we're opening, the Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas. I know it has nothing to do with Christmas. It has nothing to do with Beauty and the Beast, except it's Disney. So Disney movie, Disney game. They go well together, and it's one that we are purposely giving toward the very end of the 12 Days of Christmas. It'll just be a couple days before Christmas when she gets it because she can play it all year round. It's not a Christmas-themed game. So she asked for it specifically. I'd already bought all her Christmas presents, but then when I was doing the 12 Days of Christmas movies and the list and coming up with the different things, I was like, ooh, that fits in so well. It's something I know that she wants, so we're going to go ahead and get that and wrap it up in a box for her. And then on Christmas Eve, this is the number 12, we're going to watch the Journey to Bethlehem. This came out last year. She really likes the actor Milo. I forget what his name is, but he plays in Disney, The Zombies. It's like a sing-along type movies, I guess, because there's 3 of them now. I think there's going to be a 4th one about to come out. So she really likes him. She likes his voice. She likes his singing. Now, this is the story of Bethlehem and the journey to Bethlehem and Jesus. They do take some creative liberties. My daughter's 10. She's a very good foundation of like the actual Christmas story. So just like if you're going to watch The Chosen with your kids and with your family, you're going to know they take some creative liberties. They write in things on personalities and characters and that kind of stuff that are not explicitly said in the Bible because they're turning it into a story. No one's going to watch it if it's just boom, 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 story's over. So they take it and they turn it into a movie and they add music and they add quirks on the different characters and they write backstories for them. And keep that in mind. If you're going to watch this movie, it does, that's part of it. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to watch it, make sure your child understands the real story first, and they understand that this is just a movie. It's not a biblical portrayal of how Jesus was born. So just like if you were going to take them to Sight and Sound, or again, watch The Chosen or any other like types of theater things, when it comes to biblical stuff, they take some liberties, they add some things in that may or may not be accurate because we don't know, right? The Bible doesn't say, for example, what the wise men's personalities were like. So the way they portrayed the wise men in this, I didn't love as much. They were a little bit more like sarcastic and kind of weird than I portrayed them to be. In my mind, they're like very stoic and serious all the time. And the Bible doesn't say either way, right? So I could be right, they could be right, who knows? I'm just saying I didn't like love it. That wasn't my personality. It's not how I portrayed them. But it could be accurate. Again, who knows? When we get to heaven, we can ask Jesus, like, was the movie right or was what was in my head right? And, we might both be wrong. But she did love the movie last year, so we're going to do that for the Christmas Eve movie. And we are going to play a movie bingo during that time. So I made up a bingo sheet. It's free over on the blog. Again, there's going to be basically just a pack that has some of the things I talked about in here, including like the pictures of the movies, and you can pick and choose what movies you want to use, if you want to use any of them, all of them, whatever. But I do hope that you got some ideas, some fun things to do leading up to Christmas. If you're going to watch any of these Christmas movies, maybe take it a step further and add some things in if you don't have stuff already going on. Like I said in the last video, there's no right or wrong. There's not anything that you have to do for this kind of stuff. So if you don't want to use any of this, but maybe share it with a friend who has kids that does do a lot of Christmas movies, maybe they'll use it. And as I said in the beginning, I would love to hear if you have any movies that you watch that were not on this list that are favorites, because we love to add them in. But then also if you have any like fun things that you do during certain types of movies, I would love to hear it. So please leave me a comment. Let me know your favorite Christmas movies, any extra special things you do around that Christmas movie, and I will see y'all next week.